Hello and welcome to the Girl That Went For It podcast. I'm your host, Johanna Scholz, also known as Johanna Lian on Instagram, and author of Believe in Life, How to Dance in the Rain. If you want to live your dream life and become the best version of yourself, then this podcast is for you. I hope that I can inspire and encourage you to never give up and to always believe in yourself. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, Johanna_Liana, for daily content. And now enjoy this episode. Welcome back to this new episode. I just did some journaling, surprise, and I wanted to share one thing that I do probably once a month or even more, like one journaling tool that I think can help anyone who wants to live a life more in alignment with themselves. So I thought I'd quickly record this episode. I'm not sure yet how long this episode is gonna be. Maybe it's gonna be a quickie or maybe it's gonna be a long 20-30 minute one. So let's just start. You all probably know the benefits of journaling by now or maybe you just started listening to this podcast and you don't know it yet, but as you know, I'm a big fan of journaling. I even created my own journal, which you can get in the show notes. I'm going to tag it there. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about the benefits of journaling. So first of all, it is spending time with yourself, and in a world of social media and endless scrolls, it is so important to put your phone away and spend some time with yourself and your thoughts. When journaling, you can really go deep, like you can really go into your feelings, your fears, your problems, your desires, your goals. You really make time to listen to what is important to you, where do you see yourself in the future, and so much more. I would literally say journaling changed my life. I actually started proper journaling when I went to New Zealand the first time, like 2014. I got gifted 2 journals from family and friends, and I wrote them. I was away for 5 or 6 months when I went to New Zealand the first time for work and travel, and I wrote in both journals. In those 5 months, I filled 2 journals. And I'm so grateful for that. It's not that I read the whole thing again. By now, I don't know how many journals I have. But it's not that I'm going to read the whole thing again. But it's so I don't even know how to say the English word. It's therapeutic. That's German and English get mixed. It's so therapeutic. You're probably going to laugh about this, but you know what I mean? It's really good to write things down, write thoughts down. And also, looking back now, so I have, since being in New Zealand 4 years now, second time in New Zealand, not to confuse you, but I have all my journals here, obviously, and the ones before I moved to New Zealand, they are in Germany. And I actually my mom sent me actually one journal, but I actually want to read the one, or not read the whole thing, but from 2014, because I know that I wrote in my journal that I want to live in New Zealand one day. I actually need this journal. I'm going to send my mom a message if she can send it to me. But anyway, even the journal my mom sent me was from just before I left to New Zealand, and I know there is a lot of it's a really important journal to me because I wrote a lot about my brother, and as some of you might know, he passed away 2019, and I wrote a lot in my journal about that, or the time, and it's so nice to have that, because looking back now, it's not that I read the whole journal again, but having my thoughts from back then and how much I suffered or grieved. I mean, you never, the grief journey never ends, but reading my old thoughts and seeing how far I've come is just so beautiful. And I wish I could go to my younger self, to my 20-year-old me or 23-year-old me, I'm 27 now. I wish I could just go to my younger self or my 18-year-old self and tell her everything's gonna be okay. So that's, I think, why journaling is so beautiful as well, because you can look back one day and the things you wrote down back then that you struggled with, they seem like nothing now, or like you can look back and you're like, yes, I made it through this. And I think this is so important. And it's so beautiful to have this journey to look back and see what you struggled with and how you grew through that and what you learned. So if you haven't started journaling yet, I can really recommend it. And if you need some help, as I said, I created a gratitude journal or a journal with journal prompts in them. You can find it in the show notes. But today I also wanted to share, like a journal technique with you that I think everyone can do and that can be so helpful. So we all done it in the past, in school probably, and it's called a mind map. So you put whatever topic is it that you want to talk about or write about, think about, in the middle. So let's say 2024, and let's write down all the things we want to do, want to achieve, want to attract in 2024. Write down what trips you want to go on, holidays, what destination you want to go to. Write down the friendships you want to have. Write down the experience you want to have. Write down the relationship you want to have. Write down all the feelings you want to attract. Because one day you look back and see that you attracted all of this. And also because you spend time on your vision, you spend time on how you want to 2024 to look like, your subconscious mind or your mind in general at least thought about it once, what you want 2024 to look like. The next thing is to repeat this, to look at it again, to read it again, to write down affirmations to those topics. That's like the next step. But if you're just starting with journaling, try the mind map. Write down what you want 2024 to look like. And you can do this with anything in your life. You can do a mind map about friendships. You can do a mind map about you in the middle, and then how you want to show up, what character traits you want to have, what goals, what you can even write down what outfits you want to wear. Like, just be really specific of who you want to be. Another example could be you 5 years from now. What have you achieved by then? Have you bought a house? What car you're driving? Like, just get creative and write everything down, because there's something so special about thinking and writing it, and then even reading it and even saying it out loud. So you can do all these 4 steps. It starts with thinking, writing, reading, and saying it out loud. These 4 steps will really change things for you. Like, you will start attracting your dream life. But the first thing starts, of course, with the thought. It's always the thought that changes everything. It's like the seed that you plant into your mind, and that will create your reality. Yeah, mind maps are just so important, because I don't know what it is, but I think it's probably the creative part, because I feel like a lot of people have these writing blocks when it comes to journaling, because they're not sure how to start journaling, how to write in their journal. And I feel like with mind maps, it is just like a brain dump. You literally just write down anything that comes into your mind, and it doesn't have to make sense to anyone but to you. And you can just literally, it reminds me so of school, because we used to do mind maps a lot in school, and I think it's just such a creative thing to do, just to write anything that comes into your mind, anything that you want to attract. Just put it out down to paper. And of course you can organize it later if you want, but the first thing that counts is that you wrote it down. And as I said earlier, to move on from there, let's say you planned 2024, all the things you want to attract, friendships, relationships, goals you have. Let's say you wrote them all down. The next step would be to write affirmations. And when you write the affirmations, write everything as if you already achieved it. Act as if. So let's say your goal is, or 2024, you wrote down a new car, or you wrote down friendship and quality time. Let's start with the first example, new car. Your positive affirmation would be, I am driving my new car. Or your positive affirmation could be, I am attracting everything that I need to buy the car of my dreams. Maybe this sounds more logical to start with, because you want to make sure it gets into your subconscious mind. And your conscious mind is your logical mind. This might be a bit too deep, but I just want to quickly talk about this a little bit. Your conscious mind is your logical mind, and it has to sound logical for your conscious mind. So your conscious mind lets it through into your subconscious mind. But yeah, write down as if, act as if. Let's say you wrote down 2024, friendship, quality time. You write down your positive affirmation. I am spending quality time with my friends. I am creating beautiful memories with my friends. I am creating unforgettable memories with my friends. All these things, write them down as if you're already doing it. And it will really help you to, first of all, change your energy and vibration, and then attract these things into your life. Because firstly, also, you know what you want, you changed your energy around this, you're really focusing on what it is you want, your energy is good, you're writing it down as if it already happened. And that will change things so much for you. If you have any questions about how to create a mind map, feel free to get in touch with me on Instagram. I'd love to help you. I'd love to see your mind map. Feel free to share it with me as well. And that's it for today.
Well, that does it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening and tuning in today. If you like this episode and don't want to miss any new ones, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Feel free to share it with your friends or on social media. It really means a lot to me. It will help me to create this podcast. You can find me on Instagram, Johanna_Liana. I'm always happy to connect, so flick me a message if you want. Enjoy the rest of your day, and always remember, it's a beautiful day to have a good day. It's a beautiful day to be alive.